Good evening, welcome to Prime Business. My name is Winston Taki, and out of first business story. President John Mahama has called for a research of the global financial architecture, urging world leaders to prioritize fairness. Speaking at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, he argued that the current system is skewed against African nations and undermines their development prospects.
30 years later, we African leaders are still making the same simple request for a permanent seat on the Security Council with the power of a veto. So today, Madam President, I stand here in this exact spot and ask the world, if not now, then when? We demand not only a reform of the Security Council, but also a reset of the global financial architecture, which is currently rigged against Africa. Africa must have a greater say in the world's multilateral financial institutions. And while I'm making requests, I'd like to call for the removal of the blockade on Cuba. As Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, our nation's founder, famously said, we seek to be friends with all and enemies to none. The Cuban people shed their blood on African soil in the fight against apartheid. And indeed, Cuba has been and continues to be a faithful friend of Africa. You see, the very fact that I can stand here and ask these things and say these things, and the fact that all nations can ostensibly gather here to address critical global issues, air our grievances, and express our concerns, that is what makes the survival of this organization so important. In every old city or village, you will find a town square, or a courtyard, or a plaza that once served as a gathering space for the citizens of the community and their leaders. Meetings and celebrations were held there, as were trials and elections. And these were spaces that brought people together and held them together as a community. Sadly, time and technology have eroded these spaces. Madam President, in many ways, the United Nations is the proverbial town square of our modern global village. And it has never been more critical for us to protect this one space that brings and holds the world nations together as a community. The internet, social media platforms, and artificial intelligence offer us the illusion of connectivity.
Now, the Energy and Green Transition Minister, John GhIE, has announced government is rolling out a new program that will subject all projects into the competitive bidding. He has also announced that they have come very far in powering all our plants with gas. Minister disclosed this at a Bloomberg Philanthropies program in New York on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly.
Working with the World Bank to develop a framework for competitive tendering. We have already gone to Parliament to pass a law that compels us to go for competitive tendering. Because what we've realized is that normally unsolicited programs or offers are brought to us. They look very good, but in the long term, they tend to be very, very expensive. And so the World Bank is already helping us. And so we just tie into Mission 300. And then I'm sure that we're going to achieve a lot. Our objective is to reduce our cost of generation by about 30%. We also have what we call a gas to power transition, where we are developing all our gas resources to feed our thermal plants. Then we have an ambitious project to achieve 30% of solar mix by the end of 2026. And we are sure that we will do that because of our hydro potential.
Away from that, the Microcredit Association Ghana has held its 16th annual general meeting under the theme Beyond Profit, Strengthening Microcredit Institutions Through ESG Principles. The event brought together regulators, policymakers, academics, and practitioners to discuss how environmental, social, and governance principles can secure the future of Ghana's microcredit sector despite economic headwinds. Women accounted for a majority of the new clients and borrowers, reflecting the sector's mission of empowering the underserved. Here is a report by Natalia Kwanzaa.
Credit continues to be a lifeline for households, micro and small enterprises and vulnerable communities across Ghana. At a section at the association's sustained general meeting, Executive Director Ebenezer Korte has urged government to establish a dedicated fund that will provide affordable capital for on-lending. He explained the intervention as critical to scaling financial inclusion.
Given the highly informal nature of our economy, microcredit will continue to serve as the lifeline for households, MSMEs, and communities. It is therefore imperative that development partners, regulators, policymakers, and the media, and all stakeholders rally to support our mission of using microcredit as a tool for positive transformation. The future of microcredit members is digital.
Representing the Finance Minister, Wode Adeto, underscored the government's commitment to strengthening the financial inclusion agenda.
The government remains committed to ensuring that we are supported by a sound and enabling policy environment. In pursuit of this vision, government has set out clear commitments for the financial sector. These include enhancing the regulatory frameworks for the microfinance industry to improve supervision and a more resilient financial system.
The Bank of Ghana also pledged its support. Head of other financial institution supervision, Desmond Agbega, announced plans for a sustainable banking framework.
Bank of Ghana is currently developing a framework for sustainable banking principles tailored for microfinance institutions. This initiative seeks to guide MFIs in embedding ESG considerations into their operations, lending practices, and risk management framework.
The acting Chief Justice, His Lordship Paul Bafo-Boni, has assured swift judicial action in dispute involving the state and contractors. He made this pledge at the launch of the new Automotive Dispute Resolution Centre. The centre, powered by the Ghana Institution of Engineering, was established to ensure the speedy resolution of contractual disagreements. Here's more from that commissioning.
The centre is expected to settle conflicts in the engineering and construction sectors quickly, fairly, and with technical expertise. At its core, the need for the ADR Centre arose due to increasing disagreements between contractors and state agencies, which often led to protracted dispute resolutions and high-cost arbitration in foreign countries. In his keynote address, Acting Chief Justice, Justice Paul Bafo-Boni, assured that swift judicial action will be taken on all construction-related disputes.
As Acting Chief Justice, I wish to assure you that the judiciary stands ready to support and collaborate with this centre. We will continue to encourage judges to refer appropriate cases to ADR and to recognize the awards and settlements reached through professional ADR institutions such as this one. I call on engineers, contractors, consultants, lawyers, businesses, and public institutions to embrace this centre not only as an alternative to litigation, but as a first choice for resolving disputes fairly and efficiently.
Engineer Ludwig Anand Hesse, president of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, was optimistic that the Conflict Resolution Centre will expedite action on construction disagreements and reducing the cost associated with international arbitrations.
It is born out of the desire to equip engineering practitioners with deeper understanding of contract administration, especially in taking proactive steps to avoid conflicts and to be in the position to manage conflicts effectively if they arise. It also affords us the opportunity to create a pool of engineers within the institution with ADR expertise, ready, capable, and credible, to serve as qualified practitioners in arbitration, adjudication, and mediation.
On her part, Afilwe Buthelezi, president of the Federation of African Engineering Organizations, applauded the Ghana Institute of Engineering for establishing the first engineering ADR center in Africa.
And therefore, as the Federation of African Engineering Organizations, we have placed the ADR Center at the center of our agenda for the next coming years. We have established an ADR committee that is led by your very own engineer, David Nyetu.
Beyond dispute resolution, the center aims to become a capacity-building hub, training engineers to serve as mediators and arbitrators, and embedding dispute avoidance strategies in project planning.
The Food and Agricultural Ministry has directed the National Food Buffer Stock Company to purchase grain surplus from farmers as it anticipates bumper grain harvest for the 2025 season. It follows a report on some maize farmers in Ijura lamenting how sales, despite a bumper harvest, has been low. The Chamber of Agribusiness also reported at least 10,000 tons of grains on the brink of waste. Before the details of the statement from the Agricultural Ministry, here is a special report by my colleague Emmanuel Bright Kweku highlighting how farmers in Ijura have been discouraged from growing maize next season due to the poor sales and delayed rains.
It's Monday morning at Ijura, one of Ghana's largest trading hubs for cereals and grains. From groundnuts and beans to rice and maize, the market supplies thousands of households across Ghana and beyond. But in recent times, maize has seen a sharp decline in sales.
The fresh maize sells at 500 cedis, and the old ones go for 450.
These new prices, coupled with a reclining market sale, are presenting challenges to the maize value chain. The farmers and traders are not enthused as they are seen all over haggling the new prices. Farming is a lifeline of Ijura and its surrounding communities. On a scorching afternoon, Idrisu Mumuni and his family are busy drying freshly harvested maize. They spread the grains across a tarpaulin, relying on sun and air to reduce the moisture content. With no storage facilities, the family must rush to package and sell the maize on the next market day. But for Idrisu, the returns hardly match the efforts he invests in production.
The maize business isn't good enough. For rich farmers, they're able to keep theirs. But for us who have no storage facility, we must sell immediately.
After the 2024 dry spell, the price of maize has fallen by more than half, from 1,200 cedis to just 400 cedis on the market. Yet, with production costs soaring, the sharp decline has left many farmers frustrated and delusioned. Ghana experiences a glut of maize during the main crop season from June to September, but despite the bustle and noise of the crowded Ijura market, traders say business has been slow and their pockets tell the story.
It looks as if stealing is better than farming. Every time they are talking about cocoa, they would neglect us. Our work is more hectic than the cocoa farmers.
Frustration on the market is preempting the farmers from producing more. While some have opted to hoard the maize at home, others are compelled to leave the heaps of their maize harvest on their farms at the mercy of the weather.
Now the veterinary services, and that is the plight of the farmers in Ijura, trying as much as possible to have their maize bought. We got intervention from government now. Now let's bring you the National Buffer Stock Company to purchase surplus grains from the farmers. And according to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, anticipates a bumper grain harvest in the 2025 season, alongside unsold carry-over stocks from the 2024 harvest. To address the issue of a likely glut situation, government has, for the first time since the establishment of the National Food Buffer Stock Company, provided significant resources to enable NAFCO to purchase surplus produce for storage. This intervention will not only reduce post-harvest losses, but also guarantee the availability of food reserves to cushion the nation against future shortages and emergencies. The ministry therefore urges all farmers to remain calm and confident, as NAFCO will actively be in the market to purchase their grains and mitigate any adverse effects of excess grains. The general public is assured that MOFA, that is the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, working with all relevant agencies and stakeholders, is fully engaged in ensuring that every grain produced by Ghanaian farmers finds a sustainable and profitable market. Signed by the media house, basically copied to JoyNews as well, and all media houses from the Ghana Welfare Stock Company, giving updates on the state of farmers in Nigeria. Now, away from that, the Veterinary Service Directorate of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture and the Food and Agriculture Organization have launched the event-based mobile application Plus as Ghana's digital tool for surveillance and reporting of diseases in domestic, wildlife and aquatic animals. Speaking at the launch, Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, reiterated government's commitment to safeguarding animal health and food security. Here's more.
The enhanced event-based mobile application plus digital tool by the Food and Agriculture Organization integrate veterinary officers, community animal health workers, fisheries, and wildlife officers into a single reporting system, making animal health surveillance more cost-effective, reliable, and efficient. This upgraded system will also ensure a quicker detection and reportage of animal disease outbreaks across the country. According to the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, the upgraded system will support ongoing efforts to safeguard animal health and food security.
The system has been scaled up and institutionalized, allowing veterinary practitioners in the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, the Fisheries Commission, the Wildlife Division, the private sector, and community animal health workers to report outbreaks such as anthrax, rabies, peste des petits ruminants, zoonotic tuberculosis, and mange. These timely reports have enabled rapid responses that save both lives and livelihoods. The results speak for themselves. Between January 2024 and April 2025, 68 weekly animal health bulletins were generated, significantly enhancing decision-making and coordination. In addition, more than 50 community animal health workers in the Upper East region, 70% of whom are women, have been trained alongside veterinary practitioners nationwide.
Country representative of the Food and Agriculture Organization, Priya Gujadu, said the innovation is a crucial step towards protecting stakeholders and livelihoods.
Typically in any country, and this is not new to Ghana, the livestock sector can be afflicted by and is afflicted by a variety of diseases that affect the poultry sector, sheep and goats, cattle, and depending on the country's economy, the health and maintaining the health of these animals and the livestock is of paramount importance, not just for exports and national GDP, but also for the lives and livelihoods of so many smallholders that depend on poultry or sheep and goats and beef for their daily incomes and their livelihoods. And disease outbreaks that affect the health of these animals and can affect the body condition and the meat production of the animals or the dairy production of the animals and even the mortality of the animals is of huge concern.
The Food and Agriculture Organization also donated outbreak response materials to the ministry to facilitate timely control of disease as well as safeguard the health of the rapid response staff.
Arash Motor Limited, Ghanaians distributors of TVC's motors, has officially opened a new TVC's Experience Center in Kumasi. The center is equipped with a modern showroom, a well-resourced workshop, spare parts storage, and dedicated motorcycle compartment. This is designed to strengthen customer relations, improve after-sales service, and bring the TVS brand experience closer to its local patrons. Here's more.
With TVS Motor Company's TVS Experience Center, visitors and customers can now explore a full range of TVS two-wheelers and three-wheelers, interact with trained staff, and access high-quality service support. The company aims to use this flagship center to better understand customer needs, offer hands-on product demonstrations, and gather customer feedback. President of International Business at TVS Motor Company, Payman Kaga, indicated that the center is more than a showroom but a benchmark for what the TVS brand represents: quality, reliability, and customer centricity.
And I can talk about the service after. So taking care of the customer, explaining the products we have, of course listening to the customers to see what the customer is looking at, and then trying to showcase and to show the advantage of TVS products versus the competitors, because we are really proud of our not only design but also quality and reliability of our product for the customers. And then on service side, when the customer is arriving, first of all, he can see the quality of the place, the maintenance program he can have, so full transparency about how we take care of the product, but also our team member, Arash TVS, the people are trained and skilled to take care in the best way of the products of the customer. So the customer feels in a sort of secure, trustable, environment, and interacting with talented people, skilled people, trained people to take care of the products.
So you have been in Ghana for a while. What is the state of your operation here in Ghana?
Arash Motor Limited, the authorized distributor, already operates 4 showrooms and 4 workshops across Kumasi, Accra, and Tamale, supported by a wide network of dealer representatives nationwide. The center is designed as a strategic step to deepen its roots in the country, reiterating its vision under the theme empowering, uplifting, and sustaining through mobility. Payman says the company is committed to utilizing opportunities within the automobile sector of Ghana for local benefits.
So in Ghana, we started our partner since 3 years now, and the progress we are doing is really, we are proud of it, and I think we have still a lot of opportunity. The opportunity is the area where we can explain to other customers who are not still our customers to become our customers, and why they should come to TVS, and why they should buy not only TVS product but to be taken care of by TVS people. So that's the opportunity we have in front of us, and that's why again the customer experience center like this one is showcasing that TVS is taking care of the customers differently from the competitors.
For JoyNews, my name is Clinton Yeboah.
That's all for business here on Prime Business. My name is Winston Taki. Thanks for watching. Prime Sports is next. Stay tuned.